Hi traders, it's Jay. It's just after midnight on the evening of April the 11th. It's already April 12th here in Hong Kong. So just after midnight Eastern time on April 11th, going into April 12th for most of you, about midday here in Hong Kong. And I'm just doing a review of the levels that we had picked on Sunday night, and we're going to evaluate how those performed on Monday. And some of them performed quite well. Our projections in terms of where the markets would exactly go were a little bit off, but the levels themselves performed very well nevertheless. So let's just listen to what I said on Sunday night, Monday morning local time here, and see how the levels performed on Monday's regular hours trading session.
All right, so for the week of April 11th, this is on Sunday night New York time, Monday morning in Hong Kong. What we're looking at is we've got our levels on the chart. These are levels that we post every day. You've probably seen them before. Essentially what I see right now on the ES here is we're stuck between 35.50, which was a very significant level last week, and about 42.75. Yeah, 42.75. That's where we're stuck right now. Okay. What I foresee is if we do have a move to the downside below 35.50, the area, the target would be from 26. The first initial targets are going to be from 26 to 26 to 24, this little zone here. You can see we've got some levels down in there. Now, if we break up and continue to the upside, the first levels, okay, that we'll be looking at is this little zone here, from 50.50 to 52.25, okay? And beyond that, we should head up all the way. So if wherever we break out from here right now, we should be looking at 50.50 to 50.25. Beyond that, I would be looking at 66.25, and then a retest of the 72.50 area. Okay, so those are my projections for the next day or two. That's what I expect to happen. So let's see how those levels perform. So to the upside, if we break above the 43 area, we're going to 20.50, 20.52. Above that, if we continue to the upside, your first area is going to be the 66.25 or 72.50. Okay. Downside below 35.50, you'll recall that was a significant level last week. Below that, we'd be looking at 26 to 24 area, and because we've got a couple levels there. And then if it breaks through, that, then we should be going down at least to 2010. That would be the first target. Okay, so those are that's my expectation for the regular session, the London session, the regular session, possibly going into Tuesday, depending how much volatility is. In other words, how far the market moves. So I have targets that are close by and targets that are further out.
Okay, so we just reviewed that video of the Sunday night some of the Sunday night session. And so basically I've switched to a 5-minute chart of the yes, so we can see exactly what happened yesterday, and where we are now and where we're expected to go. So actually during the the Asian session, when we were discussing where we expected things to be heading, that was right around here, okay? When we were at, in fact, we were at the 42 area that we have here. I'm just going to change the color of this so we can see it a little bit easier. And let's make that the default. Okay. So where the red arrow is here, that was right around when we were in the at the start of our session, which starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We were literally right at one of our levels here. That level, I believe, was 42. Was 42.75, I think. Yes. Let's grab the crosshair here. Yeah, so 42.75. So we had that exact level during our Asian session when we were doing our analysis and getting our levels prepared for London and for the next US session. So if you were actually trading this, and one of our members actually was, I think, one of our members, he was actually trading it at that time. We expected the market to go back down to 35. 35 was 35.50. It was a very important level on Friday, and so you'd expect that if we come down to that market, we'd probably break it. There'd probably be some liquidity in terms of stops hiding under there, and perhaps some buyers interested at those levels. So that's exactly what happened. So, from 42.50 to 35.50, there was a good 7 points potential there if you were trading, the Asian Open. So once we came in there, we did get a pretty good bounce once we got back above 35.50. Went up as high as 41, back down again. And what happened? They just tried to test the lows, the Asian lows, right at the London Open, or shortly after the London Open, and the market took off like a rocket. And once it slowed down, where did it slow down? It slowed down exactly where we had talked about, exactly what we had projected during the Asian session, which was this area from 2050 quarter to 2052 quarter. The first time it came in, it went about 5 ticks through and it backed off, and then when it backed exactly down to our level at 48, came back up for a second try, and was literally 1 tick off our level at 2052 quarter, and came back in again, pressed this 48 half level, played around it a little bit, went down again within 1 or 2 ticks of our level at 45.50, then back up exactly to 48.50, backed off a bit, some more buyers came in, pushed it through up to 50 quarter, back again, played around that level, tried another attempt at 50 quarter, off by 1 or 2 ticks there, back through again, just kind of playing around in this. It was playing around in this zone most of the London session, going into the US session from about 45 up to this 52 level. But you can see there were significant bounces off the lines, and it happens all the time. It's just amazing how good these levels are to play off of, to look to initiate positions off of. So once we did break the 52 quarter, I know in the video I said I was expecting higher 66 quarter, 72 half, that area. We didn't get there. Going into the US session after the US Open, these times that are on the screen, it's on Chicago time, so just for those of you who are curious, so after the US Open, we went up to 54.75, which is our next level. We pushed through to 56. What was amazing is when we came back through, that 54.75. We came back to it exactly to the tick. And actually, during the regular session, one of the members in the room, I think it was Rick, he took that 54.50 level and he got like 12 points off of it, because you can see there was the big sell-off. So it pushed back through 48.50. There could have got some more downside action there. Pushed through, it came back up, tested that 48.50, back down again to where the major zone that we talked about, which was a 42 or 43 level, 42.75 down to 35.50. Tested the top of that zone and then went back up again to 48.50, back down, and this plays out all day. So if you know the areas that you want to look for, within 3, 4, 5 ticks, it makes the trading so much more easier. And you can see that after testing that 50 zone that we talked about again, 50 to 52 zone, back down, didn't quite get to our 42.75, the top of that zone, but came back up and tested 48 half one more time. I mean, why did it test 48 half all day long? How could we have predicted that was going to be such a significant level? So from 48.50 all the way back down, once we broke 43, you had a good idea of what was going to happen. We're probably going to test the London lows again, and we had the target of 35.50. Later on, we talked about, Simon had actually pointed out that 30 might be a significant level yesterday, and it was. And so this is coming into the Asian session, after the market's over, exactly, look at that, 30, back up, okay? And where's the first place the market has a problem? 35.50. Now we're playing around in there. It looks like the market wants to try to make another stab back up, maybe to 42.75. So going forward, going into Tuesday's session, what do I see? Well, this is back to the daily chart, okay? And on the daily chart here, obviously because of its significance and what we've seen, 35.50 still a major area, as well as 30, since that ended up so far has been low. Below 30, the 30 level, if we were to come back down below 35.50 and below 30, if we kept going, my predictions from or projections, pardon me, from Sunday night still stand, that your major hiccup is going to be the black line there at 24, possibly this entire zone from 26 to 24, because we have a couple levels in there. If we break that, then you should see the market heading down to 2010. To the upside, if we stay above 35, well, we end up in the same scenario. 42.75 again will be the significant level for the launch point. If we are going to go higher, if we get above 42.75, then you can see the high yesterday was around 56. So I would be looking for 57.50 to be the next major level. So essentially the projections still remain the same. As always, these levels, usually we're projecting out levels on the longer term charts, so it depends on the market's volatility when we actually get there. So we do our best to project where we'll go over the next 24 or 48 hours. But as you saw, it's not an exact science, but man, just having those levels there was plenty of opportunity yesterday. And as I talked about earlier, many of the members were able to take advantage of that. Now, quickly before we go, I just want to show one more thing. We don't just cover the ES. We also cover, other markets such as NASDAQ, crude oil, the YM, and gold. And one of the levels that we had on gold yesterday, which is just amazing, was actually hit this morning during our Asian session. You can see it up there. It's 1261.9, and and it happened just as we were just before we started the Asian session. We actually had that marked off, and every day we'll post the levels in our Swing Traders Club here. So if I go into our Swing Traders Club, let's see if I can get to yesterday. Here we are, yesterday, gold. So here, this is yesterday, Eastern time, so 7:36 p.m. On Sunday. We had said 1262 would be a major area, and see how we've marked that off in black. What we're doing going forward is any areas that are extremely significant, or we feel are kind of do or die areas for the market, we're marking them off in black, and that was one of them. So you knew to be aware on gold of 1262 and 1265 to the upside, and to the downside the 1243.8 and 1245.7 levels. So we posted those. We can't, there's nothing we can do to change this because it's already posted in our Swing Traders Club. As you can see, we've got almost 300 members in there. So that was posted well ahead of time, and so there was a great opportunity there. As you can see, we've come almost 50-60 ticks off of that level, and this is one where it was to the tick. The yesterday is a bit more challenging, but the same opportunities are there. If you're within 3, 4, 5 ticks, that can do a lot to help your reward to risk ratio be in the right direction, simply because if your entries are much more precise, you're going to have a less drawdown, less stress while you're in the trade. You're usually able to get your first targets off very easily, and at least cover your stop loss or move your stop loss to break even in short order. So that's what I'm seeing on the ES, and we just did a little quick look at gold here, and let's see how those levels on the ES perform over the next 24-48 hours, and we'll look at some other markets going forward throughout the week as well. And last but not least, maybe I should have put this at the beginning of the video, please remember that all trading is risky. You can and will lose money, so only trade with the risk capital. That's money that you can afford, that won't affect your retirement plans or your lifestyle. Okay, and we're not making any recommendation or solicitation to buy any security or futures or options contracts here. Have a great day, traders, and we'll see you in the next video.